Welcome, everybody, and we are fired up for another sensational college football matchup. Nobody at home today who can stake their claim in this neutral site showdown. A top 25 showdown coming up. Two of college football's premier teams preparing to duke it out right here on this field. As we'll see, the number 6 team in the country, the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors, taking on the 11th ranked team in the land, the Michigan Wolverines. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. And the Rainbow Warriors about to kick it away and get this season started. Oh, he's going to take a chance and bring it out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking for a productive play on first down. Power football with the run. Open space at the 25. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
And this guy is elite. There's a reason why he starts in this offense. You just saw the speed and the open field running ability on that last play. And this is a guy that is going to be key to the entire season for this offense.
They gave themselves room to operate with that first play. Now first down from the 37. Quarterback will keep it. Shakes off the defender. People like to say conference affiliation doesn't matter. But you get the SEC against the Big Ten, and there's no denying there's a little extra juice in the building.
Definitely extra juice. The best two conferences, the biggest conferences, Palmer. Everybody talks about these being the power brokers and deciding the future of college football. So, yes, it matters.
A lot of blue bloods in both conferences, David. You're right. I think it's something players are also very aware of, too, is having that conference pride, wanting to win this game, representing the rest of the teams in their conference.
They'll line up for a second down play. The give to the tailback. He'll be tackled at the 49 after a pickup of 5.
What a nice run there. And from the beginning of time, Michigan football has been synonymous with running the football. You can think back to Tyrone Wheatley, Anthony Thomas, Chris Perry, Hassan Haskins, big physical runners that also had sprinter speed and that could change the game. This dude right here, every time he has the football, he has the ability to go the distance, and that's what makes this Michigan offense so dangerous.
Got his man down the middle. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down. And the Wolverines come to the line with a fresh set of downs. The running back has it. And the freshman does a great job using his technique and getting the man on the ground.
Oh, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches right now. This defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
He showed it all there. A little elusiveness, a little power, and he's got the first down. He's got 42 yards on the ground already. That is a way to make a statement early. Just on the edge of the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 21. Here's a quick throw out to the left. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
And these quarterbacks have to really trust their wide receivers that they're going to be disciplined and run to the right route when they're throwing that ball to the outside like that, because because those corners are sitting there on the inside, and the worst thing that could happen is to miss inside and that cornerback be going the other direction.
Operating in the red zone here on second down. Now on the move. And he'll be taken down, but he does have enough for the first down.
I'm not sure what the quarterback saw on that one, but that was a very quick decision to take off and run with it to try to get his offense some positive yards.
The Wolverines trying to cash it in on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels. We'll see if the offense can punch it in on second and goal. The run up the middle, trying to find his way to the goal line. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Michigan. They draw first blood, and that is exactly what you want to open the season with a drive like that.
How about the start from this offense? What a drive. Just when they needed a third down conversion, they got it. They put a bunch of plays together, kind of wore the defense out, and in the end, punched it in for 6.
Bringing it back. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Offense getting set for first down. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. They're working that left side. He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the first down on the throw and catch.
I'll tell you what, that's great execution between the QB and receiver. They look like they could execute that throw in their sleep. Quarterback took his steps, threw it on time. Great route by the receiver. Nice job securing the catch.
They'll snap this one from the 32. It's first down. Handoff from the gun. Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
6-yard pickup on first down leaves him with second and 4. He's looking to throw. Gonna let it fly. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at third down.
When I'm an offensive coach, I'm going to take shots. I'm going to take those 50-50 balls, and most of the time I'm going to trust my wide receiver to come down with it. The defensive back said, no, sir.
Couldn't find his man last time. Now they'll have to convert third and 4. Caught near the sticks. It's Reynolds. Got room at the 35. Defense needs to regroup as he gets it down to the 26.
What a weapon this guy is, right? The tight end position, not only can he get open, he can run away from people after the catch. He's a big dude, so he's hard to bring down anyway, but the speed is what makes him different.
And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
We know this guy's a weapon, not just taking handoffs, but he can catch the ball too. That play, not so much. Got to do a better job reeling it in.
Couldn't make the connection on first down. Now here on second. He'll just keep slinging it. He's got it down the middle. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
Great job creating space. That's what you're supposed to do. When you get man coverage, you got to find a way to get a step, make it easy for your quarterback to read that leverage. And when he drags across the field, he could see he had him. He completes it for the first down.
Already well within field goal range. Wonder how aggressive they'll be on third and long from the 22. They'll run the toss. And they did not let him get to that first down line. It'll bring up a call here.
And that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that third and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing both, got it stopped, now forcing a fourth down.
On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Finds his man enough for the first. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the first down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it, and now a fresh set of downs.
And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Oftentimes, defenses see empty sets, and that's when they want to dial up pressure, knowing there's no extra bodies back there to protect the quarterback. They were able to get to him on that one, and that's why the ball was incomplete.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. They'll keep it on the ground to the left, stiffing the goal line. And you can forget running in the middle against this defense.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on third down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on third down.
Linebackers trying to create some confusion. They'll try to pass it in on third and goal. It's complete to the left. And after the stop, that is going to put a bow on this first quarter. And the offense doesn't bat an eye. They'll stay on the field and try to score from the one on fourth down. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Rainbow Warriors. He'll try to tack on one more. Smashes it through for the PAT. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard punt. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together to give their defense a rest.
And that's a real thing, man. Like, you played a lot of plays, you get worn out. You need a chance to go decompress on the sideline, get some oxygen, calmer. Now it's on this offense.
Yeah, this is the definition of complementary football because it's a two-pronged problem. You've got to score points and answer, but you've also got to take your time and give your defense an opportunity to get their win.
Stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
They're trying to get to it. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. And the Wolverines decide to punt it away. Now on the return. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Hawaii has it back as they send the offense onto the field. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense gets a stop, and now it's up to them in a tie game.
All right, so if you're the offensive coordinator here, let's dial it in. Who are your best matchups and best playmakers to take advantage of this golden opportunity?
Yeah, and I'm interested to see this defense, too. Like, the momentum is clearly not in your favor. How do you get it back? How do you make a big play? Do you be more aggressive here to try to get the football back to your offense?
On second down, wants to throw. Takes a hit as he fires. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Oh, you know what time it is when the defense gets that stop on third down. Nice job getting to the quarterback, putting some pressure on him, hitting him, forcing the incompletion. 4th down, baby.
Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
That's the type of explosive play you love to start a drive with. First down from the 42. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down. He's now up to 52 yards on the ground. A very productive first half here in the season opener. On second down, will they go back to the ground game? Davis will throw. Got his man on the right. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. 3rd and short coming here right from the midfield stripe. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. I'm not sure this was ever a real decision. They'll go for it on 4th and inches. They'll try it on the ground. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
In the 4th and inches, man, I'm going for it no matter where I'm at in the field. If I'm in scoring range, if I'm in the red zone, if I'm on the 1, I'm going for it. I have to be able to get it.
Fires the pass, intercepted. Looking for more room. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
And I tell you what. Play zone. All eyes are on the quarterback. You have a zone to drop to, but you're setting on the quarterback, reading his eyes. Great job by the defense, understanding the ball was coming out, breaks on the football, goes and makes the INT.
The Hawaii offense returns to the field. They had to punt it away on their last possession, but man, what great field position this. And boy, was that pressure in his face immediately. Down he goes.
The defense just simply not fooled by the play action. Oftentimes in offense, you're hoping the run fake's going to slow down those pass rushers, but man, oh man, they had their ears pinned back.
After the big first down sack for the D, it's second down. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
You know, as quarterbacks, you've got to be good in the pocket. Even when things are collapsing and you've got guys swiping at it, you've got to have 2 hands on the football. Didn't do a really good job with ball security there, and that led to the fumble.
The defense coming up big there. The sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit, too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home, and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great feeling, and it's fun to be a defensive coordinator calling the plays.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. And the quick shuffle pass. They'll go with the quick touch pass. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the first down.
Wow, and what a great job by that quarterback, finding his open receiver on 3rd down. You know, guys, one of the most telling stats at the end of the game is 3rd down conversion percentage. If you're a great 3rd down team, it's invaluable to your offensive success, and teams drill third down so much in practice.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Quickly complete. They make the stop, but the sweet throwing catch is plenty to give them a first down. The Wolverines come to the line with a new set of downs.
If they're going to sit back in zone, I'm going to make sure I know exactly what they're doing, find those holes, find those crossing patterns, and take advantage of that zone coverage.
You know, I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big...
Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverine.
And that is exactly what you want from your offense. Man, late in the half, you want to execute and then punch it in physically on the ground. Take the lead going into the half. Take all the momentum. Nice execution on the drive by that offense.
He'll bring it out. It's Waddle. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. Hawaii ready to go back to work on offense. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, David.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers.
Looking for a deep man. Catch inside the 25. And he takes it all the way. They couldn't stop him. Touchdown, Hawaii. Lining up to add another. And it's perfect. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Gentlemen, it has gone final in that top 25 matchup we've been keeping a close eye on. Florida took its show on the road, and they'll be packing a big old W in their bags for the trip back to Gainesville. Never underestimate the importance of a road win and how it can impact a team's trajectory. A top 25 clash and an impressive showing that could be a huge confidence builder for this program. Back to you.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Throws to the wideout. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
Yeah, and a really good job by the defender understanding the ball's coming. I got to break on it and go and not try to intercept it and make a bad play. He swats it down and makes sure that's an incompletion.
They'll spread the defense out, going 5 wide on 2nd and 10. Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a... He's going to let it go. Catch inside the 30 and still running. And he's brought down after a huge completion.
And how about the big strike down the field? I love when offenses take shots down the field, try to make big plays. Now they're set up in the red zone.
Pulls his way forward.
Well, I don't know what the quarterback saw on that last play, but he made a pretty quick decision that he was just going to tuck it and run it, and his offensive coordinator is glad he did. How about the speed by the QB on that play?
Got some room into the goal line. He's got 93 yards rushing already here in the first half. It's a season opener, but he's in midseason form. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. And the Wolverines will try to put one on the board on 1st and goal. Trying to bully their way in. And they can't punch it in with a first down run, and the defense has one stop.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Moving the running back, trying to get the... And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Michigan.
And I like the running back's vision. He sees the hole, explodes through. He knows where the goal line is, gets in the end zone, gets 6.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. He'll bring it out. It's Waddle. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Hawaii has it back as they send the offense onto the field. Now you find out just how much of a gunslinger you are. Will you roll the dice here late in the half, David?
And you know the defense is going to be really, really conservative, so I think it's an opportunity to be able to take a shot, see how much of a chunk you can get before then you decide really, Jesse, how you want to finish the half.
Just can't turn it over and throw a pick if you're the quarterback here. You have got to be so smart if you're going to be aggressive with your decision making.
That last completion sets him up on second down. Still on his feet at the 40. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. They'll throw it on first down. Got his man downfield. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
And this offense is just so dynamic because they've got playmakers at all the skill positions, right? We just saw a big play in the running game. Now we see one in the passing game. There's not one dude that you can key on here if you're on defense to try and slow them down.
These corners going to give these receivers some space. To the air on first down. The pass is incomplete and the clock will stop with 5 seconds left.
Well, this defense felt coming into the game that if he was going to try to throw from the pocket, they could get to him and affect his accuracy, and they did on that last play.
One more snap coming before halftime. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. And he's going to lose yardage. He was looking everywhere for just a little grass and a little air, and none to be found.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Wants to pass it. Going downfield for the big play. Fires and picked off. Got room on the return. And he's dragged down after the interception, and that's how we'll close out the first half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Got things teed up and just about ready to go here in the second half. He'll bring it out. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Hawaii offense returns to the field. They start this third quarter one-possession game and hoping to get an early drive going.
This offense is ready, and they're ready to take the field here and see if they can get something established. They don't have to change everything and reinvent the wheel. They've had some successes in the first half, so let's get that continued here on the opening drive.
Yeah, and I love getting that break at half to go talk with my coaches and pick my offensive coordinator's brain so I know exactly what I need to do to attack this defense, and I get ball first.
A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. And some room to work. Really needed a play like that to get out of their own end. They move the chains. They mark it at the 29.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line.
He lets it fly. Hits him in inside the 20, still going. Touchdown, Warriors! He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point was made without incident, and we're tied up here in the third. After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. From back of the end zone, he'll bring it out. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out at the end zone was not a good one. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. That last touchdown drive was surgical through the air, Jesse.
It sure was, and that's why this offense is so dangerous, David, because they can score in a hurry because of how efficient they are throwing the football.
And welcome to modern college football. That's what it is. Spread you out, find my playmakers, make quick decisions, and really put defenses in a difficult situation.
The Wolverines brought to the ground, but not before picking up the first. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The RPO, fire complete to the left. At the 45 on its way. He found plenty of room, and he gets it to the 39-yard line.
How nice is it as a quarterback that you don't have to throw post routes to get great stats? No, I can just throw it quickly to one of the fastest players in the entire nation and let him burn this defense.
And he got enough for the first down, but somebody put the hit stick upside his head. He now has 108 yards rushing, and with that run, he's now over 100 yards on this opening day. You'll take this every time, 5 yards on the first down play.
Well, this offense came into the game knowing they wanted to be physical, they wanted to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're running downhill right at this defense, and they're churning out positive yardage early.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll try the run. They make the stop, but you can't give up 4 yards a chunk on the ground down in this area of the field. It's at the 18. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
Well, the defense got the stop there on 3rd and 1. Let's see if they can do it again here on 4th and inches, Dave.
I just got to find a way to fall forward, be physical. We worked on this all week. You know you're going for it on 4th down.
And the field goal unit will stay put as the head coach decides to go for it on 4th down. He'll take it himself. And the Wolverines get enough for the first down.
I got to challenge my guys all throughout the week. We get in these short yardage situations. Who's the bigger man? Who's the better man? Who's going to be more physical? These are the situations we practice all week. Challenge the manhood of the offensive line, and they come through in a big way.
That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there.
Quarterbacks generally, guys, we know, they're not as big and not as physical runners as running backs. So it is going to be trickier for them to break tackles. I like the idea of getting the design quarterback run game going. But moving forward, let's see if we can get him out to the corner.
Touchdown, Wolverines! And with that, they've got the lead here in the second half. That drive was what every father wants his daughter's romances to be like. Slow, take your time, drain the clock, no hurry at all.
Sometimes love is a slow burn. And that's what we just saw in that last drive. I am so impressed with the execution, and I love their ability to run the football. These players They're coached up. They're coming out here and they're executing exactly how their coaches.
Oh, what vision. He's going to get loose. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Hawaii. PAT unit on the field. And after that extra point, we have a tie ball game in the third quarter. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, right back to your game after we update the nation on this one. Liberty put one in the win column in convincing fashion. The Flames had zero issue moving the ball, and that defense held strong in key moments. Talk about a complete performance. A lot to go through in the film session this week for both teams. But boy, it sure is going to be easier for the side that came away with the win.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. They unleashed an aerial assault last time and took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. You put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills. They've got it at the receiver position, so if you've got one-on-one matchups.
Oh, they knock it free. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
Now, this is a receiving group that practices making catches in traffic, and they're used to having guys trying to rip it free. He's got to do a better job of keeping 5 points of pressure. After he makes the catch, that's a costly giveaway.
They'll go to the ground. They make the stop after a pickup of 3. Ball's at the 18.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physical. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. Relentless, tough running, gets it down to the 4. Now the offense tries to punch it in on 2nd and goal. They go to the ground. And he gets it back to the 4-yard line. No farther than that. No gain on the play.
It's looking like they're going to have to throw this one in now on 3rd down, David. And you know the execution just has to be spot on. Timing especially at the quarterback position here.
In thinking about the defense, they're aggressive in these situations. They're going to play man. They're going to play uptight on you. So I know that. Now how do I counterpunch and attack this defense?
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. They allowed the completion, but this defense was swarming to keep them away from that first down line.
Yeah, and you allow completions in those 3rd down situations underneath the sticks, and you come up and rally, and everybody flies to the football. That's great execution by this defense.
After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away. He's going to try his luck from the end zone. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. They coughed it up on that last drive, but the defense really bailed them out, holding him to a field goal, Jesse.
Yeah, and I think the offense kind of got away from their identity a little bit on that last drive, David. They got to kind of get back to doing what they do.
Yeah, and hold on to the football. I mean, defense just did their job. Stopped them, held them to a field goal, limited.
They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. The Wolverines moving quickly to the line. He wants to pass it on 2nd down. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. Got some room to run. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
What a game-changing play by this defense. Nice job. You got them backed up in their own territory coming out. Now you force the turnover, set your offense up with some great scoring field position.
Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow in 2nd and 7. Got a little work done on 1st down, now back to the line. Out of the gun to give to the back. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Man, a lot of times when you blitz that linebacker, it's about timing. You don't show your hand, and he gets up to the line of scrimmage, gets right through the line, and makes the tackle for a loss.
And as soon as the running back gets the football, he's got a face full of linebacker.
Not much you can do there. Like, you got to have a little better block. You got to identify that blitz a little bit faster by the offensive line.
Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Rainbow Warriors. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Lining up for the PAT. And the extra point extends the lead to double figures at 10. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they close the deal with a 20-yard pass for 6. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term fires into traffic. Intercepted. Taking it the other way. Touchdown, Hawaii. And this defense coming up with points of their own. What an interception return. Ready to try the point after. And that extra point is a big one as they now have a 3-possession, 17-point lead in the 4th. They're lining up to kick it off after the pick 6, and that defense will come out feeling it. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Oh, and he gets the ball back. Lucky to do so. Guess it could have been worse.
And listen, quarterbacks run more nowadays, and we see more of it, but they do have a tendency, because they are a quarterback, to cough it up a little bit. But how about the man? He said, I got this, and jumps back on it, make sure he covers that thing up so he didn't make a bad play.
And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack.
When I got a stud quarterback like they do, I'm going to protect him. I'm going to make sure that I keep him upright because he can do some serious damage. But this defense applying pressure and applying the hammer in this football game.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. That internal clock just didn't move fast enough, and they get him for a safety. They'll boot it away from their own 20 after taking the safety. Looking for a block. It's Waddle.
The return is brought down at the 33, and the Hawaii offense will take over
ready to go back to work on offense. Keeping it on the ground with the running back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. It'll be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. They have it at the 43, third and short, trying to avoid making a decision on fourth down. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. The Rainbow Warriors are stopped, but not before getting the first down.
Well, nice job finding a crease to go get that first. And Dave, there's just some running backs out there that feel like they have that sixth sense. They just know where the marker is. They know where that first down marker is, and they're just able to find a way to fall forward and get it.
And I love when they don't dance. Know the situation, right? Don't bounce things that don't need to be bounced. When I need to stick my face in there and lower my shoulder and get a couple yards, I got to know the situation. Great job by him running the ball physical and finishing the run for a first down.
We reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense is that much closer to salting away a victory. And the Rainbow Warriors are moving quickly down the field. They're going to go right back to him on first down. One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Leaves it with the running back. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. And here comes the field goal unit for the second time tonight. He'll swing that big leg for 3 from 44 yards out. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And that lead grows even bigger. The last thing you want to do here is give up a big return, pin them back, and then the defense can just stop them from scoring a touchdown. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Not a lot to feel great about in this one, Jesse, but I'm sure they'll try to seek out some. He's going for a big play downfield. And he's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been up to speed. His 3rd interception. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. Quarterback takes a knee, and they'll start this new season with a victory. They get a big win here and start the season on a positive note.
You got to love that as the players. You come out, you have so much anticipation coming into the season, finally getting ready to play in front of a live audience. You're able to come out and execute and get this win under your belt. David, couldn't be a better way to start the year.
And for the losing team, obviously, it's a little bit different. You have something to look at now, to analyze where do I need to get a little bit better, but plenty of time still left in the season to improve and turn it around.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.